Hello, good evening, and welcome to Stone Monkey Radio for the third time tonight. That's what happens when I try and rush getting ready for a show. Yep. Yeah. We're playing Home, which you will have seen. I knitted a scarf. It's a very short scarf. Or possibly an arm warmer. Like, it fits. Possibly a leg warmer. It's cozy. Taking cozy. Or possibly a snake warmer. Although, don't think that would be a good thing. I'm making another one. I'm about halfway through another one. But that's all one kind of wool. Years ago, probably about a decade ago, I gave up smoking. I was trying to give up smoking, and I got a bunch of things to do with my hand. So, I got a knitting kit that I completely forgot existed until I was sitting near my craft cupboard recently, for reasons I'm not allowed to discuss. Anyway, back to the game. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg, I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs to try and find a way out. A way out? That's a whole different game. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. It seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. An old dining table covered with dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles amongst the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. What this? A black and white photo. Looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I'm guessing. I looked like the man upstairs and his wife, I guessed. There was no reason for me to keep it. Did I take it? No. I figured it was no help for me, so I left it behind. Fair enough. Is Becky complaining that she is the armor in the follicle? Oh no! A thin grey mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic and exhausted. Of course you freed it! Immediately. Animal do you think I am? Tools! A collection of rusty tools. They just looked like they'd seen a lot of use. They were caked in damp smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed? That's a good question. What is this picture of sentient broccoli? People, I found a picture of a couple. It looked like it had moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Of course you pushed the fucking switch. I depressed it smoothly into the wall and heard a faraway click somewhere. How far away? How far was the click? There's always some click. How far away? Like on this level? On a different level? In space? How far do I need to go? Find the cigarettes. We'll try upstairs. See if I've missed anything. Doesn't seem like it. There's a body on the floor. There's a body on the floor. What is dripping? Is it rain? Is it outdoorsness getting in? Fingy prints. I touched all the thing. Sentient broccoli. It calls to you. The broccoli. Those doors taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guessed it led to the kitchen. Ugh. They really love that sentient broccoli, huh? A switch in the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. I am here in this room. Box looked too heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I had found a way out. I must have moved it, right? Nah. I'm gonna have a look around the rest of the house, but I think I found my way out. It me. I look like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn. There was mud caked all over my shoes. Mud, you say, like the tools that you found earlier. The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. A way out. The bathroom was incredibly clean. Every surface had been wiped thoroughly. Nothing seemed out of place, almost as if it smelled strongly of bleach. There was a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked like treetops. Treetops, you say? Well, isn't that... I'm sorry, what? Hello? There were sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names written down, but they were too smudged to read. Oh, Smudge. Did you do a murder? Did you do a tiny murder? She probably did a tiny murder. But we'll forgive her because she's adorable. There were sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names written down. They were too smudged to read. I could only make out a few of the notes. Keycard? Ochre? Last one, I promise. Didn't make much sense at the time. Mouse friend! Cause and also effect. Achievements. It might possibly be a decade-old game. The box looked heavy. It was heavy. Yes. Move the box forward and it finally gave. What did it give? It was a ladder going underground. Underground. But the box was a dank smell. Nice. Did I climb down? Yeah. Follow that. Whee! My leg hurt like hell as I climbed down that ladder. The tunnel below was even darker and the smell wasn't getting any better. But I had to get out there and find my way home. Roll credits. Well, I guess I'm not getting back up there. Footprints in the dirt. Look like more than one kind. And a lot of traffic. Don't get run over down there. Places all over were marked on the old map of the town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail stazione. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in town over the last few years. Wait, there were photos. Photos of a house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of informazione. A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns, so much so that I did not touch it. I did not even want to touch the thing. Better I leave it right where it was. Because in a horror game, I don't even gun right. It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? A Tory donor's wife runs. I don't know. The desk looked old and was caked with grimes. Oh, what's she doing on the desk? On it was a stack of old faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out, possibly by a cat's claws. Watching you, Smudgy Woo. How was Quips? It was good. Yeah, it was good. Can confirm I enjoy making them. I will do an edit tomorrow, and then if you're a subscriber of $10 or more a month, you too can get early access to it. They were scratched out, and illegible notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. He, Eve, A, Ethel, Ralph, Volro. None of it made any sense to me. Well, it wouldn't. There was very little of it. Some kind of homemade rack, slung together with poorly cut wood and rope. It was caked in old blood. I know it was caked. Blood cake! Nom 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 nom. Did I just get the government text? No, I got it about 6 hours ago. It's been trickling out since last night. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? Rusted hooks, the kind you'd find hanging in a butcher's ceiling. They looked pitted and worn from heavy use. That man upstairs, did he do this? Truly made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kinds of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. It looked like a cage. It was small, but there was something coating the bottom, something wet. Down we go. Some kind of old boxes. They looked like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had clothes in them. Clothes I remembered throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were they doing? Even the charity shop did not want your stinky Y-fronts. Bat friends? Yo. He's so cute. Probably shouldn't go disturbing them. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. I might go down there in a minute. I'm sorry, what? There was a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take the rope? Take the rope! Maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easy to descend. Hello, friend. Hello there. I don't think it was a case of the north getting left behind. I think it's just been really slowly rolling out across different networks. Because I know people are saying, like, a lot of people have had it on giffgaff and O2. But I don't think people on Vodafone have had it yet. It's been slowly coming through. The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? You did. Somebody would say that that was a terrible waste of rope. Could have been tying somebody up. I could hear a faint hum, and the smell from before started to get worse. It's someone just doing nasty shit. A bunch of old newspapers, wheat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Don't you keep out caving. But I did not keep out. No. My hands tingled from the burn of sliding down that rope. It was lucky that I found that. Who knows what would have happened if I had jump-headed down. Still, it was all I could do not to have rushed out of that awful place, that rack, those terrible tools. I like the alliteration there. What the hell was going on back there? The metal door groaned as I leaned into it, causing my heart to skip a beat at the sound. Horny for doors. Becky saying that not tying her up with rope is a terrible waste of rope. There you have it. We knew it had to come, and it came all over the place. As I peered ahead into the dark of the next room, I worried that I should have taken that gun I saw. But me, with a gun? Oh, how gauche. An exposed ventilation shaft. Maybe someone crawled through there, but it was so high up. That must have been a sore landing. Yeah, you could have hurt your foot. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet. And there was grass smeared within it. So that will be the dank smell from earlier. I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? Water? Blood? A penguin? A kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I touch the knife that made me sick? No, you didn't. I was relieved to leave the filthy knife where it was. Thankful that the puppet master had not forced me to pick it up. Fucking hell. Calm my titties, game. I wasn't sure what those valves did. They said it anyway. Turn the valves! Yeah, turn the valves! Turn the valves! Hey, Chrono. Skrit skrit. How you doing? You got a skateboard? I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. And Cassie wants to try Shibari sometime. I think you should do that. Seems to have got a lot quieter down here. The door was locked. There was musty stealth from inside. Must. A kitchen knife. I still thought about it. Every time the puppet master made me walk past. Why was I forced to consider it? There was a rusty ladder. Sunk into water which smelled disgusting. I knew I couldn't climb down it. If I could wait, find something with the putrid water, blah blah blah. Doot doot, tiny flute. Okay, have I passed any other doors? Oh, I've been up here yet. Disgusting. It were a mess of filthy garbage bags, and there were rips and tears in most of the bags. What looked like a videotape was sticking out. Did I take the tape? Yeah. It's a sticking tape. Sticky tape. I wasn't sure what I hoped to discover on the tape, but it took it anyway. I had to know the truth. No scratches on this tape. The door was locked. Rude! Right, okay, what if I... Oh, good. Right, so you're turned off. Oh, wait, hang on. Do anything with the regulator. Through the dust I could see the handprints from previous use, probably from whoever worked in these sewers. Was it Dave? thought you'd done all this. Someone did it. Yes! Oh, I see how it be. When it go clunk, it done. Right, hopefully I'm free! I'm free! Looked like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. There was a small metal key left floating in the shadow pool of rancid water. Take it. Take it. It was a small key, but it was so oddly shaped I had no idea what it might open. Did it open the door upstairs? No, it did not. I guess I will go back from whence I came. Safety poster. Seen better days. How old was that facility? You shouldn't ask Felicity how old she is. The door was locked. I can see a faint light from within. It's no good if you haven't got a key. There was a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what happened. Maybe the VHS tape I found could be useful. Jesus. I found another dead body. A sewer worker. He was a mess. It looked like he'd been stabbed, possibly with a kitchen knife. I could see a keyring that had fallen out of his pocket, and I took it. I snatched the keyring away, put it in my own pocket, sullying the evidence. And then I went all the way back. The shelf was full of security tapes, strictly organised. Covered in dust. It looked like the tape I found was one that was missing from the shelf. There was dusty VCR on the security desk, and I wondered what was on the VHS tape I found. Did I play the tape? The video showed a man right there in the sewers being attacked. The tape looked fuzzy and stretched, like somebody had tampered with it. I mean, yeah, they threw it in a bin, right? Oh no. Chrono's not doing well. I'm sending all the positives and I hope you feel better soon, Chrono. You deserve all the happies. It looked like there could have been two men. Tombst. Imagine that. Two men. In a video game, it's just not realistic. Yes. I got in the other door as well. A collection of stale liquor bottles covered the floor. Quite a collection. Killer! Or was littered with dozens of old faded papers. Whoever did this was obsessed with some local murders. According to some of the clippings, bodies had been found in ravines in the forest, and in one case dumped in the back of an abandoned truck. couldn't be sure, but I thought of some of these articles had also been pasted up back in those tunnels. A faded recipient was half trampled on the floor. It looked like it was from a local train station and was for 2 tickets. I didn't know what use it could be, but did I keep the receipt? I mean, no. I didn't want the filthy receipt. Isn't it how we get out of here, right? But I know things. I know things. I know. Jesus. A real low-res game. It do me a spook sometimes. Someone's left the tumble dryer on. The scent was slow, my leg ached, but I felt a desperate need to escape. The thought of the videotape still gave me chills. They were multiplying. Who was that? Who was it that didn't want to be seen? Was it the same person that hid all those newspaper clippings away in that locked room? As I reached the top of the ladder, part of me hoped I would never know. I pushed aside my thoughts as I struggled with the latch above me, and as I swung the cover up to make my escape, I caught the scent of fresh pine in the trees. I like... Is it crisp pine? Orgasm. An old ladder leading up to an ancient watchtower. The ladder needed to be extended so I could climb it. Did I extend the ladder? Yes, we did. I popped the latch, brought down the ladder, then I climbed the ladder and saw those bats again. Happy bats. Scratches. A patch of smeared dirt and grass. There was an old beat-up wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? Yes. The wallet was missing ID or cards. It had a bit of cash left in it. I slid it in my back pocket, and I wondered where my credit card and driver license were. Well, indeed. From the railing, I could see over the woods and down to the entrance to the sewers. Had I come through here before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. Ah, sorry, I'm a bit slippy. Ooh. A spoopin. There was a spoopin. I tried the little key I had, fished out of the murky puddles in the sewer. It fits, and heavily open rusty door. Heavily open. The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. I'm gonna go this way. I keep going left. What if I went the other way? The old train station was quiet as a tomb. The only sound was that of the increasing wind buffeting the decrepit structure. What could it be? An old map encased in glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes. Connected to that old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course, the map I found in those tunnels had similar locations marked, and the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned the water tower, and even the train yard. What was he doing coming back here? What indeed? The torn opening of the ruined train were heaps of dirt and stale water at the bottom. I thought I saw a scrap of cloth. It looked, as I looked closer, I could see that it was definitely some kind of nylon. Maybe a windbreaker, or some other outdoor clothing. There was too much mess on the ground to see any kind of footprints, but someone or something had definitely trod a regular path. Whomst! Back we go. Well, that was a place I've been to. This way still? Yeah. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on the map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in the tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place. But I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. I mentioned a river, maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. I'm here now. Near that rock. Sharper than dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't sure. If it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? Sure. I pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I could find my driver's license too. I don't know where I'm going. Oh. There was some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there's a notebook there too. Did I read it? Yeah, you did. Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was a page after one page of names and lists. None of it made any sense. The news page contains several names. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, Rachel. That's the same list we saw earlier, but with all the letters intact. Rachel, her name was last on the list, and it had a mark beside it in blue ink. The names Daphne and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, Rose had also been crossed out, but those marks looked older and more faded. What the fuck's going on? A few embers still burned within the fire pit. Who was camping here? Was it one of the two falling camptables knocked over? And there was beer spilled everywhere. Why did the campers run off in such a hurry? Was someone trying to kill them? It was a cheap two-person dome tent. Through the screen on the front I could see 2 sleeping bags, backpacks and a small cooler. How much cooler? I demand to know! No, no, no. This must be the washroom of legend. The grimy sink had a small patch that looked almost clean. Almost. A musty wooden plank propped up the stall door. Didn't really seem useful. Did I bother to take it? I mean, not if it didn't seem useful. I didn't see the point in carrying around a hunk of wood. But it was so hunky and woody. Wood hunk. Kronos saying I feel guilty since I have to get 2 commissions done. Also looks like I'll be celebrating my birthday inside. I feel like there's going to be a lot of that. I'm sorry that you're not getting to do a big outside thing, but hopefully you do get to enjoy, relax. And like Cassie says, I'm sure your commissions will understand. You've got to look after yourself. You cannot pour from an empty jug. Your health is important. Same as the first one I had seen. It must have been the exit on the other side of the woods. Thank fuck for that. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Bye then. Through the dense trees, I finally start to see some light. I must have been on the edge of the forest. I wasn't sure there was a path ahead that would lead me. I could almost feel the cryptic notebook in my pocket as I tried to think about what it could mean, and where were the campers who had abandoned their site. Would I meet them too? Though the path ahead of me was less dense, I still felt guarded and wary. Who knew what was ahead? It's the bit on your shoulders. Ooh, that's a good squelch noise. I like a good squelching noise. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I'd worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was Russell. The city! I'm going for the gaping hole, funnily enough. You know me, I need to go for... Oh, god damn, why is everyone dead in this game? I've had to bother you, the security guard just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood and some kind of head wound. I wondered, was this flashlight his? What, the one you were holding? Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. First my wallet, now this. Did I retrieve my watch? Sure. My watch was useless, but I put it back on my wrist anyway. Seems like you've been all these places, friend, and everyone is dead. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around, like someone had been looking for something. Ball mags? It was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was faced to the door. Danger, closed for repairs. There was a large power box with four lights. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off into other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. The door was locked tighter. So tight. Very, very tight indeed. Tighter even than me, after I haven't dilated for a month. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotten. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. An old BBS. The board contained yellow clippings of newspaper, cartoons, and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. A power panel. It looked like it was shut off. Did I press the switch? Yes. Power panel is still not working. Did I try it again? Yes. Bong. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and boots. There was a photo of a woman taped on the inside, and it was scratched out, and the face was unrecognizable. A power panel. It looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. 2 down. It was shut tight, and there was a rusty-looking slot. Hey, Hailey Snaily, how you doing? Hope that you are doing well. Hope you're all doing well. Arrow break table. Layers of dust and grime only made it seeing this sting more. A door. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when he worked here. Another panel. Number 3. Utility shelf is crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Yeah. The whole place reeked of disuse and disrepair. What was going on? What was I going to do with a hammer here? Hammer something? Do a booping? The locker was a complete mess. Hidden in the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? I mean, you're probably going to need it to get out of here, friend. Another panel. The panel still wasn't working. Because the panel was apparently fucked. Oh dear. Another panel. I hope you get power until I push the switch. Yes. Yes. Okay, that one's working. What if I do you a third time, friend? Okay. Well, apparently that's how that works. I brought the factory back to life. Life. Another door. Needs to be boarded up. And I can leave that alone. Is this where the keycard slot was? Think so. Yeah, there you go. The keycard I found seemed like it would pass through the radar. Did I use the keycard? You did in fact use the keycard. I slid the card through the radar and turned the handle. Deep. A door. It was adorable. Some kind of ventilation hatch. It looked like it could jump to the room below. My legs hurt enough as it was, but I could see, and I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? No. Yeah, full well. I was too chicken to jump down that broken ladder before. Why do it now? There had to be another way. Another way. Ah, crabbits. So I guess I'm... Final. Break my legs and die. Whee! Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. You know how much hell hurts. That poor guard was the flashlight I carried his. It looked like I had met his end finally. I only hoped it was quick. I had to get home to Rachel, but I couldn't stop thinking about Norman. Hey Rachel, friends. Here Rachel, friends. Can you help? It wasn't like I had anyone else to help me. My leg burned with pain. I hoped I could find my way through the dark path before me and get to Norman's store. Mud, scratchy mud, such as the mud you have found everywhere else in the game. Limp, 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 limp. Limp, 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 limp. Limp, 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 limp. Haley saying, not too bad, a little anxious about the whole pandemic thing. But still, Abby, one of my cats licked Marmite off a knife earlier, and that was cute. A Marmite kitty. A brave kitty indeed. My garbage bin was full of disgusting rotten mess. Food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It's my driver's license. It looked damaged. Should I take it back? Yeah. Go rack up later. Clean the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card. And now this. I tucked my card into my wallet, next to my credit card. Got most of my stuff back. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. Just like at the beginning of the game. Becky's saying she'll take a war chief burger. Do you want fries with that? Or maybe a Coke Cola. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the story ran, and it was orderly quiet except for the faint sound of television. The entrance to the store was locked from the inside, Looked like I couldn't just pop it open. It needed a key. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole. Hey, Grimmy. How you doing? What the hell? That was one of Rachel's old autumn coats hanging on a rack. Was that Norman's bedroom? Wasn't it? What was this doing here? There was a well-maintained gun cabinet here in Norman's room. I don't know much about guns, but it looked like he was keeping a few hunting rifles. Fancy. A televisual. The television flickered. Simon's decipherable channel. Oh God! Oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my co-worker and one of my few friends, I had internally dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been killed trying to get up. His eyes were still wide with shock. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserve better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Aye, pal. I closed his eyelids down, shuddering as I did so. I didn't want to... I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him his peace or if I just couldn't stand to think about what was going on. Oh no, Grimmy's too full of meatballs. Sometimes in life you're just too full of balls. I was guessing this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? What, the clean trash? No, you didn't. I was already exhausted and filthy. I didn't want to go rooting the garbage. Rip in peace that guy. There's been a lot of ripping and peace. What was this? It looked like a pull chain. I wondered where it led. Did I pull the chain? The cistern flashed from a great height. I gave the chain a single tug. A simple folding ladder to the attic popped down. Well, bondage swing. There was a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I open it? I opened the old cardboard box and wasn't entirely surprised by what I saw. There were more of Rachel's things, more of my wife's clothes, photos, shoes, even that old radio I gave her. Why, Rachel? What were you doing here with Norman? Norman Reedus and his funky fetus. Chilling out on this sweet bondage swing. Why wouldn't you, right? Oh, right, I've done this one. Am I just going to be allowed to go places now that I've seen things? I've seen things! Right, bloody hole, gotcha. Right, sure. Apparently I've missed something. Ow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. There's a little bit of something dark staining the sleeve. Was it chocolate? Was there a chocolatey sleeve? And the blood stain? It was dry up here. Anything? Nope. There was nothing. I hope Rachel had nothing to do with this. Oh, my darling, please don't have killed Norman. He was such a wonderful chap. Oh, I guess I'm going through the bin then. The trash bin smelled fresh. I reached in, I found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash, and I pocketed it. The rotting food and trash. I left the hairpin behind. I don't need that junk. Hey Norman, let me keep your eye out with his pin. Go on. It's good for what ails you. The hairpin snapped halfway through, so I threw it away. General store was small, but it was clean. Had all the usual things. Postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel would usually stop by after work if we needed anything. Like a good deep dicking. The register was mostly empty and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been for a while now. Most of its contents were half melted. Quick! Eat the ice cream. Eat the chocolate soup. There are various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps, which I keep specially baited with trinkets to entice the tourists in. I will catch all the tourists. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then, but it's let itself go. Nobody minds that. It's still a lovely water tower. That night continued to take horrible turn after horrible turn. It had been weeks since I'd last seen Norman. But to find him like that, who could have done that to him? Seeing that dusty box of clothes was a shock. How long had they been there? And what was Rachel doing at Norman's place? I felt like I had only discovered more questions, no answers, but I was close to home. It was time to find out the truth. That's not my gate, it's too shiny. That's my gate, it's just brown. That's not my gate, it's too hairy. The neighbourhood local post box. The letter was sticking out as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but look at the letter. No, you didn't, you dastard. I left the letter right where it was. Neighbourhood mail wasn't my problem. Just push it in, you bastard. That wasn't my gate. It was too silly. That was my gate. It was just brown. If you haven't read the That's Not My books, give them a try. They're for kids, but can recommend. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of wind, of foreboding. and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. I held my breath as I approached our back passage. I was terrified to step inside because everybody else in this game was dead. The house was painfully quiet, apart from all the fucking noise. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained, and the weird noises and the rain. I flicked the switch. The power was off. My vibrator must be turned on. It was too powerful and drained everything in half a block. I remember having breakfast here on this very table. Was it yesterday or sometime before? Ooh, small pile of mail on the floor, in front of the mail slot. How long had I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Yeah, because it's somebody else's job to pick up the fucking post. Most of its contents were bills. There was a credit card bill in here. I ripped the bill open to read it. To my surprise, it said something about cancelling my credit card due to non-payment. What the heckins? Also, this chair. It doesn't belong like that. The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out. I need to see if Rachel was here, rather than out seeing one of her many lovers, who I knew about and approved of. The door was stuck shut, because they couldn't be asked to code that room. I found the last missing piece from my wallet, an old photo of Rachel, and I stared back at me, reminding me of better times. Hello, cutie.
Hello.
I love you.
I love you too. I'm awake.
There you are.
Gonna go do that terrifying finale.
I believe in you.
I'm not ready.
I believe in you.
No, I'm
You're gonna
not
be
ready.
great. You're gonna be great and amazing and lovely. And Becky loves you, probably.
I love
She
you
hasn't
both.
said it yet, but I know she's probably gonna say it any second
I
now.
hope you've had a good stream, and I hope you enjoy your soda.
Love you.
I love you.
Eee. She's already gone, and I'm only now seeing the messages popping in. I knew the things. I had found the last missing piece of my wallet. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway? No. No need to hold on to old memories. I have my license, my credit card. That's enough. Our television. I purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterwards. By then, it was too late. Becky called out. Uh-oh. The Ahoy mirror had been smashed into its pieces scattered around the floor. That was going to make walking around barefoot really uncomfortable. Our sink, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. Lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. You could put your feet up on it while you were having a poo, if you were so inclined. My laptop had been left on. I only had a tiny bit of power left. The screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yeah, probably. There's a lot of fucking closed doors around this house. We're probably going to need to look into them so that we can get to the bottom of whatever's going on here. The books were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey now, that I looked more closely, it looked like the men in that house had some of the same books I did. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Rachel's suitcase contained clothes, toiletries, and a train ticket. Is this what you were going to do with Norman? The door was stuck shut and this wasn't the key. Oh fine, I'll take the fucking photograph. Be uncomfortable, you bastard. I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? I unlocked the basement door. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key. Dirty old key! I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. Probably one of the doors that I'd passed already. There were old clothes and tools and things that we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. I mean, that's kind of how it works. I put up this dividing wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. Like a hammer. I left that behind. We're on the ground floor now. I think we're on the ground floor. Which means I need to go to this door. The grimy key I had found in the basement unlocked the door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. I felt a little jealous of the room. I hadn't had a good one in a little while. The furniture was a mess. Somebody break in here. There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? I mean, maybe that'll get me through the thing. I lifted the crowbar, appreciated its weight. Haley is suggesting that someone should create a bacteria that lives on surfaces and excretes soap. Just constantly washing everything. I mean, I feel like that might be a way we could end up with, like, superbugs or something. Two transitions. Did I break through the wall with a crowbar? With a heave, I swing the crowbar at the wall. Smashed a large hole through. Smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. Was Rachel down here? Is she okay? Was she in the nap cage? Don't look! I mean, if the wall said... Another nap cage. Don't look! filthy looking pile of rags. They be dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful, made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile, to see what lay within. I knew I had to. I'd come this far. After all, the searching. After all I'd seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? No, you didn't, you silly bastard. You found... the rags were wet and matted and covered in dirt and grime. But inside, that tattered mess was no sign of my beloved wife. Rachel wasn't there. I looked around in confusion trying to find what to do next. If she wasn't there, then where was she? What had I been searching for this entire time? I remembered the look on Rachel's face when I came home, didn't I? Then the awful realisation hit me right in the gut. I've been looking at this the wrong way, hadn't I? This is what you've been trying to tell me all along, wasn't it? I couldn't find Rachel there, and I wasn't going to find her anywhere, because she was never there at all, was she? I stumbled back upstairs, the pain in my leg just a dulling now, and I sat down in my bedroom. My mind was spinning. The ache I felt before was near crippling. Finally, I could no longer fight the exhaustion. And as I tried to grab hold of something that would make sense of all this, I must have drifted off. Dum dum dum. It's my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped the stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking in, or maybe someone stole it from me. The store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? No. Oh, there was no way that was me out there. I woke up in that house, remember? I wasn't off in any damn forest. I guess these books were all actually mine then. In the shards of the broken mirror, I could see my face, gaunt, hollow, and sickly, and immensely troubled. What other illusions had I dreamed up? What other truths were waiting to be exposed? It was a key card I found in the factory, the one that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me that it was probably Norman's, but if that was true, then what was it doing back at the plant? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? Who else would it have been? Norman, what were you doing back there? Oh. Laptop had finally ran out of power, so I couldn't look at Pornhub anymore. Or my OnlyFans. Pornhub? Sexual? No, chatbot. No, chatbot, that sounds fake. I had that old TV for so long. I don't know if I could ever replace it. Why would I try? There's nothing sexual about people having footage of people having sex. Ridiculous. My old office safe sat on the floor. Used a digital passcode lock. Did I try to open it? The safe used an 8-digit code. What was that damn code again? Oh god, it's in the manual. No, that wasn't it. I can remember. Hang on. Let me try that again. AGR 3. It was a poorly framed photo of what looked to be a small headstone in a graveyard. It was tucked away peacefully under a beautiful old maple tree. Underneath there was another sheet of paper. It looked like some kind of MRI printout. It showed a top view of a brain scan. I noticed the bottom of the scan had 2 whitish patches on it. I didn't recognize either image. Finally, the bottom of the pile was a simple white envelope. The front of it read, "Do not open until I tell you." I guess it was a good time as any to see what was inside. Did I open the envelope and read what was inside? It's not DRM. It's in the manual for the game. I suppose it is DRM. You don't have to read this to get an ending for the game. In fact, I've already deliberately missed like 3 different endings to the game. I tore open the envelope and removed the yellow lined paper inside. It was a letter written in a hand that looked familiar. The letter read, "I know that this event has probably been pretty difficult. You can't imagine how hard it's been for me too. Well, maybe you can. That isn't meant to be an excuse, but, well, I hope you can better understand why I've done what I've done. Moving to this town seemed like such a dream, a quiet place to get established, to live out our lives and to be together. But you know as well as I do that things quickly changed. Your drinking was one thing, but as you grew more distant, you retreated into that world of yours. Well, it was clear you didn't need me as much. In fact, maybe you never needed me at all. But it took all this to make you realize in the end, though. You may never forgive me for this. You may never forgive yourself. But this is probably for the best. You'll be healthier for this. And I'm sorry it had to happen this way. Rachel. 8 names. Written alongside those odd marks in different colours were printed in that notebook. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose. I recall the names I saw scratched out on that old desk deep within those musty tunnels. Was the man in that house really up to something? It seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back to the basement. Maybe there wouldn't be anything for me to find, but I had to take a last look. It was cracked and pitted. I was told by an inspector the basement had been partially filled in before I bought the house. But the look of that wall, I wasn't going to need to fix the foundation. Everything smelled musty and old down here. Everything smelled musty and old down here. Everything smelled musty and old down here. I saw the mail addressed to me, bills, credit card offers, a letter from the bank, all addressed to me. That was it. With Rachel gone, I couldn't stand to be in that house a moment longer. I didn't leave. I didn't say goodbye to that nightmare forever. Since I had arrived in town, things had been difficult. Working for the plant had been good for me. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, but helped me get away from my past. But when the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time, drinking was probably just a way to deal with that. It was almost as if I was trying to beat my brain at its own game. Things stopped making sense. Some time after that, my memories of what happened are still in flux. I suppose that was when Rachel came along. The night had been the worst of my entire life. Wouldn't it be even possible to bounce back from everything that had happened, everything I'd seen, you know? In a way, I almost wish I hadn't even woken up tonight. It would have spared me a lot of pain. For starters, the man I had found in that old place, who had killed him, and why was I even there? I don't need pop-up adverts now, thank you. After making it out of those tunnels, I found those sewers. Might feel safe, I was wrong. The security tape I had watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like two people, but who was that? Who was attacked, you know? I didn't know who had taken my wallet, but I knew it wasn't me who had been all over town, at Norman's or in the forest. I don't care what you think. It may be bad, but it wasn't me. There are plenty of other people to blame for this. Why don't we start thinking about them instead? Forest was no escape either. That notebook especially left me troubled. I remember seeing a similar list on that desk back in the tunnels. Who were the girls mentioned there? I suspected there was more to those woods than I knew. Though I had no intention of going back, still I knew that Norman had been going back to that factory. I wasn't sure I understood why. The guard outside obviously met with a violent end, but do you think it was Norman? At this point, do you think he was even dead? I had to catch my breath to take it all in. At this point, at each point until the factory, things had only gotten worse. But then, going to Norman's store, that's when the confusion and doubt started to set in. That's when my perspective on all this really started to change. Norman was dead, but I had no idea what had happened to him, or what that box of clothes I'd found in his attic meant. Did he know? But as painful as all that was, oh no, I couldn't bear to think about it again. After all I had seen and done, finally to come home was supposed to be the end of this entire ordeal. I had no idea, though, that it was only the beginning. The silence in this house when I first stepped through the kitchen door should have been my first clue. To think that I went through all that completely unaware of what I would discover. Did you know that before the end? Did you mock me when you finally showed me the truth? You don't know what it's like to have everything ripped away from you in a heartbeat. How could I possibly go on now, knowing what I do without Rachel? Even the thought of Rachel, I was truly lost. As the door swung open, I could smell damp grass and the closeness of the air. After everything, it felt like I had more questions than answered. You made me see the truth. I'll give you that. But now I was completely lost. You took away the only thing that kept me going. I was sure the word would get out soon enough. The police would come looking for me, and then what? Would you be there to show me the way? What will I do then? The end! Apparently the Stanley Parable's free now. I think that's... I think that was an Epic Store advert. Stanley Parable's free. Cool. So, I played through the game a few times. That's the first time I've ever seen that ending. Because I just googled what the save code was from. Basically, the first time I played it, I didn't realise what the game was. I was playing it like an adventure game. Like, of course I pick up the gun and the knife and all the other things. And I looked at everything and I rifled through everything and I backtracked and I tried to do everything. And you can get, like, there's tons of different endings to this game. So, like, there is an ending where you commit suicide in the bathroom by, I think, doing a drug overdose. There's various endings where Rachel is definitely dead and you killed her. I think there's endings where Rachel's dead and somebody else killed her. There's an ending where it's explained that it was you that went all the way through, like back. That's why your foot hurts, because you fell out of that high up vent near the beginning of the game. Like the decision to pick up any item in this game is treated as a, hey, you have made a decision about how this is going to end now. Because I pick up guns and because I go through all the trash, because I pick up knives, yeah, I definitely did it. I definitely killed everyone. It's a really interesting game. And yes, the whole thing about to Nancy, watch your back. Yeah, a little bit much there, Mr. Rivers. A little bit much. Anyway, I should be going because Laura needs the internet to do, I believe, the finale of season 6 of This Funke. It's going to be very cool. Home is available on PC, Android, and iPad, I think. I know it's definitely available on iPad. Check it out if you want to do that. Thank you very much for joining us. I am Maniac Janiac on Twitter and YouTube. I'm Janiac on Twitch, where you're probably watching this now. Also available on janiac.redbubble.com, where you can get a Wealth Inequality Solutions t-shirt, a t-shirt that is more relevant now than it's ever been. What else? Stone Monkey Radio on Patreon. That's the one that helps me pay the bills. As little as $1 a month, you can do me a big old support, and I would appreciate that very much, especially at this time when shit's pretty bad generally. Also, I tried to play Doom Eternal the other day and it won't run on our graphics card. Disappoint. And there was me thinking, I'll play a modern game and I'll be able to review that. Yeah, see you Thursday. I'll be back about 7:30, 7:45 UK time, where I'll stream something else, because I will have had time to remember to do, like, installing of a game that we can play. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much for helping me through all the audio problems at the beginning. Bye-bye!